In this video, I'm going to explain how some homeowners are saving $1,000 per month by refinancing into a higher interest rate. I know, sounds kind of crazy, but I'm going to break down the numbers for you because it's real and some people are doing this. So I'm going to show you how. Now, before I dive in, do me a huge favor, smash that like button for me and make sure you're a subscriber to the channel so you get more content like this. All right, so let's dive into the numbers and see how in the world are people refinancing into a higher interest rate than what they already have and still saving money. All right, so in this example, I'm assuming that you're more of like the average American. So this isn't specific to a state. This is an average across the whole country, all right? So I'm gonna assume that you bought your house for $500,000 in 2018. And using just average appreciation rates during that time, your current home's value is about $645,000. Now, I'm also gonna assume, like most Americans, that you refinanced in 2020 or 2021. In fact, like almost 75% of loans that are outstanding were originated during that time period. So in this scenario, in this example, I'm assuming that you've got an existing interest rate of 2.99%, and you took out that loan May of 2021. At the time, you had a $400,000 loan and you owe roughly 384 grand on it. Now, the next thing that I'm also going to assume is that you're like most people and you've got a bunch of high interest debt. In fact, consumer debt is at all-time highs while personal saving rates are near all-time lows. I did a video about that. It's crazy what's going on, but this is what most consumers are experiencing. They've got a whole bunch of high interest debt, especially since the Federal Reserve raised rates, which in turn raised the payments on their credit cards and other consumer debt. But on top of that, think about how expensive vehicles have become over the last several years. Well, the average car payment is over $800 per month, okay? So in this scenario, I'm assuming that you're like most Americans and you've got around $85,000 in consumer debt between car loans, credit cards, etc., and that those total monthly payments for those debts add up to roughly $2,300. Now, when I started this video, I told you that you could actually save money while refinancing into a higher interest rate, which I get like on the surface doesn't really make sense. But when you look at the numbers, it pencils. How does that work? Well, it just comes down to consolidating high interest debt into low interest debt, and also that debt spread out over the course of time versus a revolving interest only payment essentially on an annual basis. So when we look right here, this is a side-by-side breakdown essentially of what's being proposed. It's your existing scenario versus the proposed scenario. And so if your existing scenario, again, was that your home's worth roughly $645,000. You owe roughly $384,000 at a 2.99% interest rate, and you also have $85,000 in debt. Well, if you were to consolidate that debt into a new mortgage with an estimated balance of $473,000 and an interest rate of 6.5%, yes, 6.5%. I know you've got a 2.99%, but follow me, watch the numbers here. If you were to consolidate that $85,000 into your new mortgage at 6.5%, your new monthly obligation would go down by $1,000. And there you have it. That's how you save money in this high interest rate environment, even though you're holding on dearly to that low interest rate mortgage that you took out in 2020 or 2021. But at the end of the day, you've got all this other high interest debt that's eating away at your disposable income. Now, I get it. Some of you guys watching this might be thinking, well, then Aaron, I'm going to start my whole term over again. I got a whole another 30 years to pay this off if I start over. Well, yeah, you can make an argument for that. However, what if you were to apply some or even all of your savings towards the new mortgage? Well, now all of a sudden your savings become exponential. And here an argument could be made that you'd be better off consolidating it into a mortgage versus just proceeding the way that you are and eventually paying off those various debts when it happens. Now, not all scenarios are going to be the same, obviously. The interest rate that you currently have, the amount of debt that you currently have, all that stuff, the new loan, what rate you qualify for, all of that's going to vary. But when we look at Americans on average and the amount of average debt that they have and the amount of average mortgage loans that they have, there is opportunity to save money by consolidating high interest debt. If you'd like to see what debt consolidation could look like for you, go ahead and go to newwayquote.com, the link in this video, and we'll put together a free quote that breaks down the numbers for you just like I did in this video. And if you got questions, please do me a favor, put them in the comments below. Maybe I'll make a video about it. See you on the next one.